This video is part of a series. Complete the previous videos in this playlist before you start this video. The complete playlist information, the material and the code file information is given in the video description below.
By now, if you haven't got the hang of MCP, that is totally natural. I will try to give you one more example. I'll try to give you kind of pseudo code of an AI agent. I'll try to show you what happens in that AI agent if we are using without MCP, if we are writing the code, how does that happen? With MCP, if we are using MCP, how do you think the code will change? That's what I'm going to show. So right now we are building an AI agent. It does exactly 4 tasks. One is it can search the flights. Let us suppose I want to go to Delhi. So give me best flights, maybe from Bangalore to Delhi. Give me or search the flights, give me the best flight and then book the flight. So AI agent can book the flight also. Search for the hotels. In Delhi, I want to stay in a particular place. This is my budget. Search for the hotel, book the hotel. Now, this is the task of an AI agent. It can very well do it, no doubt about it. Now, if you're not using MCP, how will be the process? When you are searching for flights, there are 4, 5, or maybe 10 different flight operators. They may have different APIs. So you may have to use 10 tools. So let me show you one example. Imagine you have 2 different operators. This is one operator, this is another operator. They have their different API format. So the first operator gives the format as from, to, and then date. The second operator has a format of source, destination, and then a department or something like that. So you will be interacting. If you have 10 flight operators, you have to create 10 tools, and then you get the information, and then you have to write a function for the normalization of all that data. Normalizing means you have to put it in a uniform format so that AI agent can understand at the end. And then you try to pick the best flight. The next one is Hotel 1, Hotel 2, Hotel 3. Every hotel have their own API. Try to check for the hotel, normalize the data that is received from the hotel, pick the best hotel. And then the next task is once you pick the best flight, best hotel, try to book it. Now this is without MCP. It is still fine when you are handling less number of tools, less number of APIs. This is what people do. And this is still fine if your overall system is quite small. And if you do not have too many tools to handle, I still say go ahead with this. It's not a big deal. But what happens with MCP, you don't want to write the code like this. You don't want to repeat this again and again. I'm giving my origination, I'm traveling from here. My destination is this. Multiple times I'm giving it. Check-in time is, check-in date is this. Check-in, checkout date is this. Check-in date is this. Checkout date is number of guests. I'm giving the same information multiple times. Now, what if we are having MCP? The AI agent will tell MCP, simply search flights. I'm traveling from here to here. Now I'm giving this information to MCP server. It is up to you, MCP server. You have to tell me whichever is the set of tools that you are interacting. All that, like from the AI agent, this is very simplified version. If 10 AI agents are using earlier, all the 10 AI agents were writing these many lines of code. But all the AI agents right now will write a single line of code. I'm sending this information of search flights to my MCP server. And then search hotel to my MCP server, and then book flight, book hotel. That's it. You have 4 tasks: search flight, a single function, book flight, search hotel, book hotel. Just give the details. MCP server has to handle it. Now within MCP server, all this hassle that we have, that will be now within MCP server. It will be handling all this search flight, search tool, etc., etc. Now, where is the advantage? You might be thinking we are writing similar amount of code in MCP server also. Earlier, we were writing inside the AI agent itself, inside the tool, but now you're writing MCP with that whole code in MCP server. It is right. We are not totally taking away API calling. API calling is still there. But what is the added advantage? Once you get this MCP server, this is reusable. Any AI agent can connect to this MCP server and use it. If you're talking about a very big enterprise, that is when you will value this whole MCP system. Without MCP, we are directly talking to each hotel, each flight, each, like how many ever are there, we are directly talking to them. If you have less number of these, if you're handling less number of API calls, if you're handling less number of tools, you can still directly go ahead without any MCP. That is what a lot of people do right now in agentic AI systems, especially at an individual level. When people are trying examples, they will go ahead without MCP. But if you are looking for learning this agentic AI system, if you want to get into a job in the company, if you see most of them, they might be using, if not MCP, they will be definitely using standardized protocol for sure. But right now, we are talking about MCP. This is kind of universally, they have made it open source. Everybody is kind of encouraging it. Everybody is releasing their own MCP server. Even the large companies like Microsoft, they are releasing their own MCP servers so that everybody can use them directly without using the individual tools. So with MCP, AI agents talks only to the MCP server. MCP server talks to all those APIs, normalize the data, handles the limits, returns the standard format back to the agent. It will make the agent job easy and multiple agents can interact with MCP server. Use MCP Server when you have multiple providers, changing of the schemas, many agents, apps using the same capabilities. In that case, you go for with MCP. So we will learn MCP, then you decide if you are building a very complex agentic AI system, go with MCP. If you're building a simple agentic AI system, if you're building a simple agent, you may not need MCP. Let me show you the MCP workflow before we get into the actual MCP case study. In this workflow, let us suppose we start with the user prompt saying that I want to book a flight from Bangalore to Delhi on a certain date. Also, I want to book a hotel near a particular place with this requirement. Now, the AI agent, once it takes the user prompt, the natural language, AI agent will interpret that. After interpreting, it will try to understand, okay, we have to use certain tools based on the LLM. LLM is the brain inside the AI agent. It'll think and say that we have to use the tool searching of the flights, booking of the flights, searching of the hotels, booking of the hotel. Then this AI agent will talk to MCP client tool. There is one MCP client tool which will kind of act a middleman between AI agent and your MCP server. This MCP client tool tell the MCP server that these are the tools that we are looking for. Do you have them, or can you go ahead and execute these tools? MCP server will then give the response back to the AI agent saying that yes, we have these tools and these are the options. I have searched the flights, choose one. I have booked the flights, this is the final output. I have searched the hotels, choose one. I have booked the hotel, these are the details. So once the MCP server executes the tools and give back the options, AI agent will pick one or a couple of options, and then finally MCP server will handle all the bookings and it will give the response back to AI agent. AI agent will finally tell the user that I have just confirmed the flights, I have just confirmed the bookings as well. This is the overall workflow between MCP and the AI agent. I will try to show the workflow diagram step-by-step process as well, starting from the user prompt until the final confirmation. But overall flow goes like this. So the first step would be the user will give the prompt to the AI agent. I have this AI agent. This AI agent is going to take the information or the prompt from the user. User has prompted giving the information that book me a flight from Bangalore to Delhi on 15th August and book a hotel near a particular place. My budget is this much. Now that will be given to AI agent. The large language model inside the AI agent will understand the user natural language query and it decides that, you know what, for me to do this, I need the tools like searching the flights, booking the flights, searching the hotels, booking the hotels. Then the next step is MCP client, which is with AI agent, will be doing the tool discovery. So it has to talk to MCP server. So MCP client does the tool discovery. Agent asks the MCP client. So this is one MCP client which sits with AI agent. We're going to see that later on. MCP client queries to MCP server. Once these tools are discovered, and this is the program that will try to act as an agent or act as a medium between AI agent and MCP server. It goes to MCP server and says that the tools that I require right now, you might be having thousands and thousands of tools. Right now, the tools that I am requiring or the service that we require are related to search flights, book flights, search hotels, book hotels. Then the server, MCP server, it responds by saying that, okay, I have the tools, search flight, book flights, search hotel, book hotels. These tools are available. Then the AI agent will choose the tools. Okay, I have these many tools. Once MCP server kind of confirms that all these tools, maybe there are, apart from these four tools, it may give these are the tools, maybe this is the best one or this is the best one, like that. It may give 8 or 9 tools. Then the AI agent will choose the exact tools that is required. The LLM acts as almost like a brain inside that AI agent. Out of the 8 tools that we have given, we require these 4 tools for doing this particular task given by the user. Then the next step is MCP client calls MCP server. Further, MCP server calls the search flights, search hotels, whatever the tools that are required, it will call them. Then once you call them, MCP server will execute because we have already given a confirmation that these are the 4 tools or 2 tools that we want to execute further, and we have given the information. MCP server executes the tools. Then let's say if you are talking about search flight, search hotel, AI agent, MCP server may have to go back to AI agent, ask it to pick the best hotels or ask it to pick the best flights based on user preferences. So there can be to and fro in between them. MCP might send after execution, okay, I have searched for the flights, here are the flights. You know that in AI agent, it's not just one iteration that will happen. There will be thought, observation. AI agent will interact with the tool. There will be a thought. It will pick the first tool. Maybe this is not the right tool. It will pick the second tool. Maybe this is not the second tool, like that. Thought, observation, and action. Thought, observation, action. There will be a lot of iterations that will be happening inside an AI agent. MCP server will execute these tools and send the information back to AI agent. Then the AI agent picks the options LLM picks the top hotel, the flights that it is looking for. And then once this picking is done, finally AI agent will give this information to MCP client for booking the request. AI agent will say that I want to go with this flight option. I want to go with this booking option, because LLM inside the AI agent, based on the user preference, user has asked for 5,000 per night, and it will use its brain and it will use its reasoning to pick the hotel at 5,000 price, the best hotel. It will try to pick the flight that is from Bangalore to Delhi at a particular price and send it to MCP client. Then the MCP client sends the booking request to MCP server. We are nearing almost the completion of this whole task. The MCP server, finally what it will do, it handles the bookings. Once it handles the bookings, it will give it back to AI agent. The AI agent will tell the user that we have just booked your flight. You know what? All this was done in AI agent automatically earlier also. Only thing is, in between there was no MCP server. The process remains the same earlier. Like, what was the process? User used to ask the AI agent, book this flight, I want to do this. And the LLM inside AI agent used to interpret it. AI agent used to directly interact with the tools. Now, I'm not saying that we have reduced the work totally. We have changed the whole process. MCP is not a totally new concept altogether. What I'm trying to say is we were doing earlier also the same task. It was fine if you are having lesser number of tools, but if you're handling to a lot of tools, lot of API endpoints, lot of databases, if you have to interact with, then instead of interacting directly with them, if there is a change in them, you may have to suffer a lot. Within the AI agent, you may have to write a lot of code. Instead of that, you interact everything with MCP server. Still, there is pain, but it is one-time pain. Then once you create an MCP server, AI agent can send requests that are like natural language to MCP server. MCP server will handle everything. Now that is the overall flow. What we will do is to get a better understanding of it. Now this is just the theory until now we have discussed. Let us get into an MCP case study to get a better understanding of it. Before we go ahead with the case study, let me show you, or let me try to give you the architecture or what is the overall objective of this case study. So what we do is we will install something called Claude Desktop. This will be our host. We are going to use Claude Desktop. So from here, as a user, we will send the prompt, and then we will keep the MCP server on NA10. On NA10, we will have the MCP server. Now this MCP server will be connected to multiple tools. Maybe this MCP server is connected to the tool of Gmail, reading the email, sending a reply to an email, or accessing the calendar events, blocking a calendar, or checking the calendar, or like that. All the tools that we want to connect, we will connect on NA10. Now here, if the user gives any request earlier, if you are having an AI agent, you're supposed to have all the tools here. But now we will just create an MCP server, and in the configuration file of your AI agent, you just configure that you interact with this server. Now, if the user gives a prompt that go and checks my calendar, then it will hit the MCP server. It will have multiple tools. It will use the right tool to check the calendar, and it will come back and give us the response. If the user says that send an email to a particular person, then this particular prompt will be converted into a command. Again, it will hit the MCP server. It will search for the tool that has the ability to send an email. It will send the email and come back and give us a confirmation that I have sent the email. So our host is Claude Desktop, or AI agent is the Claude Desktop, where it will understand the user requirement, and MCP server will be on NA10 that will provide all the services in terms of tools that we are looking for. Now, if we want to update any tool, if we want to add the tool, if the tool updates, all that we need to do is do it on MCP server. Now, instead of Cloud Desktop, if someone else, like the same MCP server, if someone else wants to use it, right now, Venkat is using this particular MCP server. If someone else wants to use the same server, or my own second AI agent, this is AI agent 1 that I'm using for a particular task, which is using this MCP server. If I'm creating my own AI agent 2, earlier, if I'm using AI agent 2, I have to create all these tools once again, integrate them. But now I will just hit the MCP server. MCP server has a link, server link is there. You just give the same server link in your configuration. You can access all those tools which are there on that MCP server. Agent 3, agent 4, any number of agents can connect to that MCP server. Let us see how does that work. We have to start by installing Claude Desktop, and then we will go back to NA10, create an MCP server. Then we will take the link of the MCP server, keep it in the configuration file, and then we can have a discussion with the Claude Desktop, which will do all the bookings and all the actions for us. Let's get started. Let us get started by going to Google, typing Claude Desktop app. You can download the Claude Desktop app. You click on the first link, you download it for whichever version you want. You click on download, you log into that by using your Claude login. account. If you do not have, quickly create one Claude login account. The free tier gives you certain number of credits. Daily, you can use certain number of commands within Claude Desktop. So go ahead, install it. If everything works fine, you must be installing a Claude Desktop like this once you log in. I'm also on the free plan only. Later on, we can upgrade if required. As of now, this is the Claude Desktop app that you must be looking at once everything works perfectly. Now, what you should do here is, if you go and click on your left hand side bottom, this particular link, you will have settings page. In this settings, you have to make the right settings by clicking on developer. But even before that, I want to tell you one important information. If you click on new chat, you can write any command here, you will get the output. But if you click on this search and tools, if you click on it, right now there is web search, add connectors, manage connectors. We do not have anything MCP from NA10. NA10 connectors are not there. So what we are going to do is, on NA10, we will create an MCP server. After that, we will come to this configuration, add it to this configuration. Then we will be seeing an extra command here, an extra connector, which is N8N connector will be appearing here. So how do you do that? You go to your login ID, whatever is this button on the left-hand side bottom, and then click on settings, and then there is developer. Within settings, there is developer right below. If you see here, you click on this developer, you can edit the configuration. If there is NA10 configuration already done, you will see an option here. But right now I haven't done it. I have deleted the previous one. So if you edit the configuration file, automatically it will take you to this configuration. If you do not have it, you check or you search by this name, Claude Desktop configuration.json. By clicking on that previous link, automatically it should land us here. So once you have landed on this, once you click on this configuration, there is nothing. It's simply MCP servers. It's just a plain blank one. Here, you have to update it. What you need to update, you have to put the MCP server information here. And the server we are going to create on N8N. On our N8N cloud, we will host our MCP server. We will put that MCP server address in this configuration file. Then our Claude Desktop app, which is our AI agent host, this one will be able to access our MCP server, which is sitting on our N8N. That is the whole point of MCP servers. Anybody from any location can access the server. Multiple agents can access the same server. So let us go to our N8N, create an MCP server over there.
Continue with the next video in the playlist. We are covering everything step by step. If you have any questions or the comments, please post them in the comments window below.